Hey everybody. I've got the last bit of laundry that I can find laying around the house. We're gonna head down into the basement. I'm not gonna give you a full tour of it because it is a bit of a gong show down there, to be honest. But we do need to get some laundry done, so I'm gonna take you with me. I'm gonna try and get some cleaning done and share with you a system that I found that seems to really be helping me manage the house as a stay-at-home mom, and just kind of give you some of my tips that I have kind of put into practice, and it shows to be working not just so bad. So here we go. Raw footage right now. I'm just gonna turn the light on. And welcome to the basement. So our place was built in the mid-60s. It was super squeaky stairs, you know, very old. This is just your good old unfinished basement. But like I said, we just moved, so there are boxes stored everywhere. Mike has so kindly built a few shelves, so we are able to actually get a little bit more organized, but I mean, the chaos is just everywhere. Like you can see under the stairs here, we've got fishing rods and ball gear and camping stuff, just things everywhere. So let's get some laundry done. One of the things I did want to share in my organizing and cleaning and stuff like that, sorry the lighting down here isn't the greatest, but is having a space to organize your laundry. So having a spot, if you do colors or whites with whites and towels and, you know, certain fabrics and what have you, if you organize your laundry, this is a great tip for you. I do darks, lights, and then my heavier stuff like towels, bedding sheets, things like that into, so I have 3 piles. For the most part, there are some items that I will wash individually. I do have some nice tights that I like to wash on their own, but it's not always practical, and they often get dumped into whatever color I'm doing. So darks, lights. But this is super helpful. So this shelf was just put together with some screws and some leftover wood that we had kicking around. And I have a bucket that I put all of my whites in. And then I have a box down here that I put all my darks in. I'm gonna change it to both cardboard boxes, but I just have this extra laundry bucket at the moment, so I've just been using that. But I'm gonna actually put 3 boxes on this shelf so that I can have one for my towels, one for my lights, and one for my darks, and then I'm just gonna cycle through it. The other tip that I have is having multiple laundry buckets for dirty clothes around your house. Sometimes if you have room in your bathroom, if you have room in a bedroom, hallways, wherever it needs to be. If the laundry hits the bucket, that's a win for me. I don't like having to pick up laundry off the floor, so having a tote to bring it down is super, super easy. Just to have them kicking around your house. Is it aesthetically pleasing? No, but it's convenient for me, so I like it. And then just do your laundry as you can. So I'm just gonna sort this bit of clothes that I found upstairs. Some of it was in a bucket and some of it was on the floor because it was worn last night or yesterday. Pajamas, socks, all that kind of stuff. And then just do your laundry how you normally do it. So I put a load in this morning. This is a load of whites. So I did actually manage to get a load in the laundry this morning, which was nice. So I did a load of whites. For the most part, they're all whites. And then we'll do a load of darks after this. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna do a load of towels instead of darks, because I'm not sure how many towels we actually have left from being at the lake. So do you guys have a front-loading washing machine? Do you love it? Because I don't know if I'm gonna like it or love it or hate it. We literally just bought these machines. and I do really like them, but they will probably end up staying with this house. I don't think that we'll end up bringing them because I think our intention is to actually turn this condo, I guess, into a rental. So we'll probably end up leaving them. So I pulled, this is my son's little sun hat and his little water shoes out. So these will air dry and we'll just put the machine on. So I'm just gonna grab my baby monitor and the couple things that we grabbed out of the washing machine. And then I'm gonna show you, so this is our basement. There's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a freezer over there. This is some canning goods. I keep them in the crates because it's a little bit easier to move them around safely, especially when you're actually moving. And then we've got some space for canning, and then here's another space for canning and just some overflow stock and stuff. But this bad boy right here is our deep freezer, and that one is actually full of all of the beef. And then on the other side over here is another freezer. That one I primarily have other things in, but most of my ground beef is in there. So we're back at the stairs, and I'm just looking here. We have some things on the stairs themselves. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff to do. So I need to deal with some of this before we can actually clean these stairs. And then we'll just make our way to the top. I honestly think I'm just going to vacuum the stairs and then put all this stuff back. Mike obviously has a plan for most of this stuff. It looks like camping gear, but this is it's a pet hairstyler. That Monopoly game has seen better days, but I think it's a nostalgic piece, so I don't know what it's doing on the stairs. But anyway, I'm just gonna kind of tidy this up, vacuum it, and then I'm gonna actually clean the railing as well because it's kind of gross. But that's really the project that we're gonna do today. Everything keeps changing. Okay, so I'm not actually gonna do the stairs today. It's gonna be more of a project than I'm willing to take on right now, and I don't know where all of that stuff belongs that Mike has organized. So I just made myself another box, like I was mentioning. Gonna put the 3 boxes on that stand so that I have 3 different places to put my dirty laundry. Yeah, this is such a huge project right now, and I just don't even know where to begin. And I was talking to Mike today about it, and neither does he. So we're kind of in a bit of a pickle. I've got some things organized and some things categorized, but I just really don't know what his vision was for a lot of this. So I think we need to just sit down and have a chat about what our plan is for this space moving forward. Get on the same page and then try and tackle it one section at a time. I do know that there is a lot of stuff in here that needs to go to donation. That is absolutely a fact. It should have never moved with us, but some of it is really important to us. It's just not a part of our life in this exact moment. Like, for example, my grandma's dishes. I don't want to bring out my crystal and my nice wine glasses and things like that when I have a toddler kicking around who could potentially damage those things, and through no fault of his own. He's a kid. So I just don't want that to happen. So we're going to skip the stairs today and move on to the next thing. I'm glad that I got that one load of laundry in. So now I've got 2 to deal with, and there's actually 1 load upstairs that I do need to deal with as well. So I can fold one now, or I can wait. Probably gonna wait. Let's look at our chores list, and maybe I can go through that with you and share that with you, and then we can kind of pick something on the list and get it done. Okay, so I just put on some fresh clothes and put my hair up and just took a second to myself. And I decided that I am just going to sit and relax for the next couple hours. My kiddo is napping. I'm going to peel some garlic. I bought a large 4-pound pack of garlic. I don't know if you saw that in my haul that I did the other day, but I still haven't taken care of that. So I'm gonna get this peeled, and then shortly after this video, I am gonna show you what I do to preserve all the garlic, but it's definitely more than a 1-day step for me. So I've got some of it peeled, and it's just something that makes me feel good. It's peeling garlic. So I've decided that's what I'm gonna do today, get this finished. But I did say that I was gonna show you some things that I do to try and keep myself organized, and it's really, really hard when you don't have any help or instructions on motherhood, and every single mom has been in this boat, and I'm just gonna share what has been working for me. This has been temporary. I haven't even been doing this for, 3 or 4 months yet. It's been a little while, and I'm starting to get into a rhythm and starting to put it all into practice, but I figured I would share it with you because it does seem to be working. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you what I got. I don't know if you can see it. Is how I organize my life, and it's on paper. I am very old school when it comes to that. I don't do well with electronic calendars or reminders or schedules or any of that kind of thing. I am more, if I see it in front of me in hard written copy, then I tend to read it more. And I also tend to remember it when I've written it down. So by texting or by reading something on my phone that I didn't actually physically write, I find it much more difficult for me to actually retain. So this seems to be working for me. I set 7 columns on my work surface, and I label them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day of the week. And each day of the week, I pick 3 things. So I pick at least 3 things: a chore or 2, a task for the day for the home, and then a task or event or program or class or something like that that I can do outside of the home or with my child. So if that, for example, today is Friday, so it might not be the best example, but for Friday is my floors. I pick 2 spaces of my house and I clean my floors. So for my breakdown, I use my kitchen as one option, my living room and hallway. So like, our living room space and hallways that go through the house. My bedrooms, and then my bathrooms and stairs is another category. So I've got 4 sections of flooring that I do on Fridays. So I pick 2 of those and I tackle 2 rooms at a time. Does that make sense? So by tackling 2 at a time, I am able to wash all of the floors on my house once per week. So on Tuesdays, I pick 2 different floors, and on Fridays, I pick 2 different floors. So, and I just try and alternate it and do a rotating sort of floor cleaning on those 2 days. On Mondays, I use as my catch up. So anything that I didn't get done during the week, like if I didn't get to washing my bathroom floors, Mondays is my catch up day. So that is currently what I use that day for. I don't know if that's going to continue because I mean, right now I'm using it because it was a long weekend, but I don't seem to be missing as much as I did in the beginning. So I may change that to something else and take on something additional. On Wednesdays are my bathroom days. So I have 2 bathrooms in my house. I have a full bathroom upstairs, and then I have a half bathroom downstairs. So once per week, I do one or the other. So I alternate. My heavier bathroom is upstairs, and on that day, I also clean my tub and in the shower and all the things in there. So that is a tougher day than just cleaning, my half bath, which we have on the main floor here. And those are like the heavy things. Now on Thursdays, so the last day of the week that I have chores is Thursday, and I pick one of these things to do once per week. There's 4 things, which means I do this chore once per month. I don't do it more unless I have time. By all means, if I want to do some catch up, I can absolutely do that. But I just don't have enough hours in the day to do these specific chores every single week. So I do them once a month. They're wiping down my cabinets in my kitchen. So floor to ceiling, cabinet clean. All of my windows, cleaning my windows in my house, upstairs and downstairs, in my kitchen, etc. Wiping down all of my appliances in my kitchen, as well as my washing machine and my dryer downstairs in the basement, cleaning those up. And the other one is my baseboards. So those are jobs that don't really need to be done every week, in my opinion. Or I'm just not there in that stage of life where it's required every week. And it seems to be working by doing it once a month. So these are also things that I kind of spot do. Like when I'm cleaning my kitchen and doing the dishes and that sort of thing, I do wipe down the counters every once in a while, or like the cabinets, the front of the cabinets or the handles or what have you, just kind of spot cleaning. These things that I do on Thursdays, this is a deep clean. This isn't a, quick wipe down. So those are the major chores that I have on my list that I try and do every week. Obviously this doesn't include laundry. This doesn't include dishes or cooking or, basic home maintenance, tidying up my kids' stuff, cleaning up after all of the people who live in my house. So that's just life. That's just my life right now. So these are more chores that I take on once a week. The next category that I have is a house task. So an example of that is meal prepping, chopping up lots of veggies or putting together some fruit, or doing some sort of like meal prepping so that my life during the week can be a little bit more simple. And that can be anything from washing blueberries to cutting cucumbers to making tzatziki, which we've done in the past, or banana muffins, or making a snack for my kid that'll last a couple days in the fridge so I don't have to worry about having snacks or lunches or anything that's homemade but pre-made in my fridge and ready for me when I need it. So meal prepping is one thing that I do. I try and do that twice a week for snacking and for lunches. So Mondays and Thursdays are those days that I try and do it because I feel like it's kind of, every few days instead of every 2 days. So Mondays and Thursdays are my meal prepping. I try and do some grocery shopping at least once a week because I don't have the ability to store too much stuff. Or I'm just not in that position right now. I do have the space, it's just not available to me. So right now I do buy fresh fruit and vegetables at least once a week. And then my other grocery shopping day is typically more like bulk stock up and things that we buy in a larger volume so that we can stock up for the week. And then I have another flex day. So if there's something that I've missed, I like to do a lot of my grocery shopping on Wednesday, Thursdays, or Fridays. And that's because that's how the sales in my area work. So when a sale is listed at like almost every single grocery store actually lists their new flyers to start on a Thursday. So when I see something that's a smoking deal that's about to hit on a Thursday, we get the flyers on Wednesday and then they list for the Thursday morning. If something's on a super good deal and I don't go shopping on Thursday, I'm probably gonna miss it because the deals that I'm looking for are going to be exceptional. I'm not gonna buy stuff where you're saving 10 cents here and there. Like, those are not the sales I'm talking about. I mean, like when I can buy asparagus for $1 a pound, or if I can get peaches on sale for $2 a pound, like that kind of a sale. Cheese on sale. Things that we eat on a regular basis or every day. Where I can purchase a larger volume and be able to store it somehow, whether it be in the fridge or in the freezer, or by canning it or doing something like that. So Thursday is a day I definitely want to focus on doing my grocery shopping. And then I also pick one other day during the week. So sometimes it's a Tuesday, sometimes it's a Wednesday. It's really dependent. I try not to do any grocery shopping on the weekends because where we live, people drive in from out of town on the weekends because those are the days that they get off. And they drive in from out of town. And so the stores are packed full and there's never any parking. It's always absolute chaos. And I don't do well with that many people. So when it is the weekend, we really try to enjoy ourselves and try and stay out of high volume areas. I mean, we go to events and like, there's things within the community that we go and do, but grocery shopping with high volume people is not something that I'm interested in doing. So we try and not do any grocery shopping unless absolutely necessary on the weekends. So those are typically my home things. I'm going to have to somewhere put in there the organization of our basement. Mike and I are going to set aside some time and get some things organized, like I said, or get a plan in motion so that I can start contributing to the organization down there, because not that I have a ton of time to do it, but I have some more time than he does when it comes to being at home. So anyway, I'm going to have to incorporate some of that into my schedule, which I'm totally fine with. So I'll find some room and we'll do it together and it'll be great. The last section that I have on my, basically my life planner, my weekly planner, is doing something with my child. So either going for a walk or going for a hike, going to the lake. We really enjoy that. There is a family resource center here in our area, which we love to attend. It's basically a large open gym where the kids who are, I believe it's 6 years or younger, can go and play it at their own will. So it's a large gym, or like an elementary size gym. And there's certain, stations that are set up based on the ages. So there's kids there that are months old versus kids that are 4 or 5 years old. And my kiddo just turned 2, so he's right in the middle of the pack, and he tries to keep up with the big kids and loves playing with all the little kid toys still, because, we have a bunch of them still. So, anyway, that is great. We try and do something artsy. So, there's a art class that we've tried going to a couple times. I am looking into some things at the pool. We got a gift card for his birthday, which was awesome, to check out the community center and maybe do like a mama and me class of some kind, or swimming or ice skating. I'm not really sure. So we're going to do something like that. And then in the evenings, we also try and do something. So usually we go for a little bike ride. My kiddo likes to ride his little bike around, or we'll go for a little walk, or we'll just go to the park and kick a soccer ball around, which is across the street. Like, we just try and keep it as simple as possible in the afternoon or in the evening. but we do try and do at least one outing every single day. So then there's our weekends. I try not to do too much extra cleaning or extra chores on the weekend. It's not that I don't do it, it's just I try not to. I try and use those 2 days, so Saturday, Sunday, more for family. So we try and do day events. We have lots of like community events happening around us. My Mike plays ball competitively, so competitively, we're I know it's recreational ball, but there are tournaments on the weekends regularly, so we do try and do that. We always go to the lake, and when I say the lake, it's not just one lake. If you're familiar with British Columbia, there's literally a lake. You could drive any direction 5 minutes and you would get to a lake. So there's so many great options in our province. We're so lucky to have what we have, and they're all so beautiful and wonderful. So we try and stick with the couple that we know, and then experiment every once in a while on the weekend with a new location or a new option, but it's it's a little bit tricky sometimes with the toddler, so especially being out in the middle of nowhere or in the bush. So anyway, that is kind of my 3-sectioned day planner, sort of how I keep it together and how I, keep myself busy, but also keep my home together. And hopefully you can get something out of that. So just to recap, chores, topic 1, topic 2 is something for the home, and then topic 3 is something for my child. And that is how I try and get it together. So hopefully that'll help you. The other thing that I do keep a list of is anything that I miss. So anything where I say, okay, on Tuesday, I need to do, my kitchen floors. I need to wash those floors, and I don't do it on Tuesday. It goes onto my I didn't do it list. And that way I don't have to remember what I didn't do, because that would just be exhausting. So when I get to Wednesday or Thursday and I'm doing the other things, it's like, okay, do I have a little bit extra energy to do the thing that I missed previously in the week? And if you can see this list, there's a lot. There are 4 things on this list, and it's Friday. So it's just been a week, I'm really trying to recoup from the long weekend, and it has been more difficult than I thought it really was going to be, but we're getting there, and it's going to be another wonderful weekend. And if this stuff doesn't get done, it doesn't get done. And it's okay, because, next week is another week, and, maybe I'll have a little bit more energy to do a little bit more, so that I don't have to have this list of things that are unaccomplished. But also it's the summer, and we're enjoying it as much as we can. So I'm no regrets at all. So hopefully you got something out of that. I'm going to peel this garlic now and just watch some TV while my kiddo has a nap. He's down now, and he should probably be down for, at least an hour and a bit. So that'll give me some time to really get some of this garlic peeled, and then we can start on that project next time. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you are interested in any of this type of stuff, home life, get your stuff together, pretty raw footage of a mom in her heyday. And so thanks so much for checking out my video. Hopefully you learned something or got something out of it. Hopefully this idea of organizing your chore list will help you. That laundry idea is super helpful for me, so maybe that'll work for you. Yeah, if you're into this home sort of life, mom life, and tips and tricks on how to get it done, consider subscribing, and we'll catch you in the next one.